thumbs down.
This shit's fire.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to another live Pin the Gas podcast. Yes, that's right. On this beautiful Saturday afternoon, I hope your guys' weekend is as proper mega as you are. And like always, it's an absolute honor today to sit down with my friend and the legend, Jeff Servant from ChefEatz. You guys know who he is. I talk about him all the time. And if you haven't placed that order, again, what are you waiting on? Place the order, ChefEatz.com. He'll take care of you. The food is amazing. It's listen, it's the best out there. So again,
appreciate that, man.
ChefEatz.com, baby. Let's freaking go. But yeah, listen, dude, before we get into this, man, this episode is sponsored by Next Level Financial. Take control of your financial future. Get your complimentary financial analysis today by Seth Starnes. It's very important. Not only is he a racer, a rider, he understands, dude, he is, and he understands the financial side of the sport, right? So our sport's so expensive, and it's hard to get to the track day to day. So listen, give Seth a shout out. Go give him a talk. You guys sit down and communicate. It's not going to do nothing but benefit you, okay? So Next Level Financial, let's go. And Jeff, again,
shout out to Seth.
Dude, big shout out to Seth. He also does the Next Level suspension too as well.
Absolutely. So. Yeah, he took care of my K-Tech shock and had it right back out to me super quick. And actually I just grabbed a race package from somebody that you might know, kid named Isaac. Grabbed a couple 400s, his old Moto A package, man, and super stoked about that. But the suspension before it got thrown on the bike and sent back over to me, and me and Curtis met up and did the old switch. All the components had happened to be over at Seth, so he's had his hands on almost every bike I own. He's a super cool dude, man. So shout out to Seth.
Yeah, dude, he's absolutely an amazing human being, man. Again, people. Next Level Financial, and again, ChefEatz. Yeah, Jeff, I'm gonna plug you this whole podcast like I do, right? But and I tell everybody, man, don't spend your hard-earned money on an off-the-rack suit. For 90% of us, it's not going to fit you correctly. And when you have a suit that does not fit you correctly, man, it causes all kinds of issues on the bike. And let's just be honest, off the bike, right? My recommendation: bikesandtrack.com. Get your full custom suit. It's easy. The rules are easy. The rules, the whole process is super simple to follow, right? You pick the colors, the logos, the patches. You guys see my suit up here in the background. I got the chest protector and the gloves. They're somewhere around here, but listen, it makes, for those that have never had a custom suit, trust me, you really want it. It's 2025, people. Treat yourself, love yourself. I'm talking to you, everybody listening. You deserve it. Right. And don't matter what custom suit you get. Of course, I'm an ambassador for Bison, so I'm gonna send you that way.
Shout out to Robert and the lackeys, man. Good folks there too, man.
Dude, facts. Just get your custom suit, the old suit you have, make it a backpack, turn it into a purse, and give it to your wife or a girlfriend or whatever it is, right? Just get rid of it. You heard it here first. But yeah, dude, listen, Jeff, welcome to the podcast again, bro.
Hey,
it's been too long.
It's been a while. No doubt about it.
It has been. It's been, I've been busy. And I know you've been super busy too, doing everything on the back end. And ChefEatz keeps you slammed with work, and all the support and love you show to everybody in the paddock is, bro, absolutely. But love for you, man. It's amazing what you do.
It shows love back, man. That's for sure.
Absolutely, it does, right? Look, we already got a couple comments, man. We got Jay Power says the chef.
Jay, man, that's another really, really cool dude, man. And I'll shamelessly plug his podcast. He has a podcast too called The Biz Crossover on Spotify, and I've listened to every episode. Really good for headspace about business, and it goes over kind of like the crossover between business and personal. Super, super good dude, but great podcast. I love it. I'm a super fan. So just like I'd, suggest people listen to Pin the Gas, I'm going to suggest listen to the Biz Crossover as well. So shout out, Jay.
Yeah, big shout out to Jay. I've actually listened to a couple of your podcasts too myself, Jay. I really like it. I like your attitude, and the aura you put off, Jay, is absolutely
Oh,
amazing. And that's
super
what,
positive, man.
dude, that's what grabs people and makes you want to return and listen to it, right? Even if you have no interest in business or whatever it is, right? You just listen to the voice and the energy, it just grabs you and
Oh
pulls you
yeah.
in. So you
Yeah, you
stay
feel like
in.
you're sitting in the room, and that's what it's like this kind of format. I think is just always better when it's free flowing. Steph asked me earlier. She's like, "What are you guys going to talk about?" And I said, "I have no idea." And I like that. This year has been, or last year and this year has been already just pretty crazy. So to be able to just jump on here and kind of just bullshit for a little while and catch up is something I've been excited about since we decided to do it again. I know we were back and forth and trying to get a date locked down. And I just had all kinds of things going on that I wanted to at least be able to come on and have something to say, or at least some news, but we'll get to that, I guess, later.
Oh yeah, for sure. I love the whole the free flowing podcast, right? No preset questions, none of that. It makes it more interesting, and it's just a casual conversation between two friends that love the freaking sport, right? That wants to give back to it and help it grow. And every time I sit down with my friends and have a conversation, I learn something new every single time, right? And I'm sure the listeners do too. So
Absolutely.
yeah, man, big shout out. It's difficult sometimes to, life takes over. We get so busy sometimes and things don't always work out the way we want it to, but that's just life in general. But here we are. We're back at it again. So yes. So Jeff, dude, the last time I had you on, you brought Max Van in. We talked about how you got into the sport, how you decided to do the whole Chef Eats thing, that whole program, get it together. So since the last time I had you on the podcast, man, tell me what's been up, what's been going on.
A lot, man, a lot. I can't even, I'm trying to think of how long it's even been and what's happened, from then till now. A lot's transpired, and for now, what my main focus has been for probably like the last 5-6 months is just really working on Chef Eats and fine dining chefs. And I don't even know, a lot of people aren't familiar with the other companies I have. One of which is like my first company I built and made fairly successful and continues to be successful is Fine Dining Chefs. And it's a private chef thing, right? So we come in and we pretty much bring a restaurant to you. We bring all the plates, silverware, glassware, linen napkins, charger plates, cook everything there, do 1 to 8 courses. It's just a high-end, really fun thing for the chef, fun thing for guests. But, for a while, I have a bunch of chefs that work for us, and I was sending them out to them. And to be honest, you make a ton of money when it comes to gratuities, and for many years I did a lot of the events, and that was a huge, lift to our bottom line that just kind of put money in my pocket and allowed me to afford some things. But then I started, my first race season bouncing around. I didn't do as many events, had other people in different places to do them while I wasn't there. And I think I kind of, as I'm sure everybody can relate, that first taste of motorcycle on a track is just like, holy fuck, like, where has this been my whole life? And, some people might not know this about me either, but, I'm a recovering alcoholic. I used to drink a lot, and I haven't had a drink in about 6 years, but thank you, man. But that was like, it's one of those drugs kind of things, and I tend to have that personality. So when I started riding, I kind of dove in head first, but I also did a lot of work while I was at these track days. So I wasn't really able to enjoy myself as much as I could, but I also wasn't giving everything that I could to my business. I was kind of like 1 foot in each side. And this year I've just kind of put my head down to say, like, let me get these businesses really rocking and running and profitable. That way I can go have fun, and it's not gonna put me in a place to have to play catch up, so that's what I've been doing, man. I just been head down. If you follow, the Chef Eats page, probably see more content, more packages, more options, and just really trying to push the brand to a broader audience, man. And, you know, the end all goal is to have these businesses successful enough so I can continue to have all the fun I've had in the last couple of years. And it's going to be on something with a motor. You know, I grabbed a couple dirt bikes about 6 months ago from a buddy named Philip, gave me a smoking deal, pun intended. It's two-strokers, which are rowdy as shit. I've never owned a dirt bike, so I've only taken the 125 out, and that thing's rowdy. Ton of fun, man. But that's the goal. You know, my kids are starting to ride. I've got this little guy back here. Where is it? That one we just threw some parts on. That's my son Jaden's. He's been ripping around on that thing. So that's the goal, man. Work my ass off, stay hyper focused, and like I tell my kids, deal with a little temporary discomfort for long-term comfort. So that's where my head's at. Just head down, really trying to work and do what I can so I can have more fun later and not put myself in a pickle. You know,
listen, first and foremost, congratulations on not drinking, bro. I think everybody in life struggles with their certain addictions. Everybody's got some, right? Whether it's motorcycles or drinking or whatever it is, you know, it's you know, I've been going through some stuff too personally that I've been trying to kick. Like I finally quit vaping, bro. I ain't vaped in, this is going on my fourth, almost a month, no vaping, right? And I still drink a little too much, right? I'll be admitted, I do. It's something that, you know, I don't know what it is. I guess I got that addictive personality too, just like you. So I've been, you know, struggling with that myself. I'm not ashamed to admit it. You know, that's the first step of healing yourself. Is admitting you have a problem. So
it is, bro. You know, for me, I was very highly functional, you know, 16-hour days in a restaurant, you know, operating over watching 30 staff members and kicking ass, taking names, man, doing good. But I knew I was killing myself. You know, I was making bad decisions. And I just felt like shit all the time. And I quit 10 times before I quit for the last time, you know, and just one day it'll make sense, man. And, you know, I talk to people who are struggling, and I remember when people talk to me about it and you don't want to hear it. And it's like, I understand that. So I just tell people how good my life is now that, you know, I don't go to say, oh, well, it's going to do this to you. It's going to do that. It's like, we all know the shit that it can do, but what it can't do is give you the best life. And, you know, I think I'm proof to that. There's no coincidence that I quit drinking a little over 6 years ago, and I started my first business a little over 6 years ago. You know, it's a struggle, man. Like you said, everybody has something, dude. And, you know, that's why I hope the world can be a little bit more kind, man. We all got shit, you know, we're all going through something, dude.
We all got shit. It is, you know, and I think a lot of it too you always got to have that good support system around you, right? But even when you have that, Jeff, if you are not ready to stop, you're not gonna fucking stop, dude. You gotta make up that, you know, mind in your that's it. I'm fucking done, right? And I'll suffer whatever consequences come and just deal with it. So it's a bravo to you, man. Much respect. And
Thanks,
love.
man.
Thanks,
man. I appreciate it.
And I'm sure everybody around you is a lot happier too, right? And you don't notice
it's not. I think what a lot of people do is they get in this headspace that, like, you know, if I stop doing whatever I feel like's holding me back from being the best me, that's admitting that I'm not good at what I'm doing now. So people might think in their head, you know, like, well, that's me admitting I was a bad father, a bad son, a bad husband. And it's not that I was. It's just I had the potential to be better. And when I took advantage of that, it changed my whole life, man. I have a different relationship with my kids, so much of a different relationship with my wife. And most importantly, I have a different relationship with myself. You know, my vices kept a little man on my shoulder that just talked all this shit. And I like to tell people that voice is you. So like that voice knows every intimate detail about every second of my life, down to ugly thoughts I had about somebody. That can remind me when I'm feeling down. That's going to say, hey, remember when you said this about that person, or you thought this? So, you know, when you have that guy there, that narrative that's just barking at you all the time, it can get overwhelming. And over time, that character kind of went away, and now I've got one that kind of gasses me up. And I know that kind of sounds a little loopy, but that's how I've kind of operated, you know, in my sobriety, and you know, trying to give myself a little bit more grace through life. You know, instead of some guy on my shoulder telling me how stupid I am and how wrong I am and how I'm going to screw all this up, this one's a little bit louder. That's like, no, you got it. You know, this sucks, but move past it. Well, you know, I'm more of a positive view of myself. And I haven't had that since I was a teenager, you know, and I started drinking. So it's been a big change, man. And I think that's another stage I'm going through right now. When it comes to just like really putting my head down and trying to see myself in a better light than just, you know, pushing through and, you know, doing what I got to do for this at the bare minimum just to get by. I want to feel a little bit better, but luckily I've got a support system, and I've also got that guy who's pretty nice on my shoulder as opposed to the asshole, you know, not being so kind.
No, it's a fact, you know, it's, and I tell people, if you're not happy with yourself, you can't be happy with anybody else around you. Right. And it's that, man, it's hard to really kind of explain to people, you know, what you're going through at the time. It's almost like a shameless plug, right? That you don't want nobody to know, but I feel like it helps me a lot to talk about it.
Absolutely.
And it makes me realize where I fucked up and where I haven't, and where I've been good and where I need to improve on. Listen, life is a self-improving every day. It's never going to be this plateau where you think you got it figured out, because you'll never fucking get it figured out. Right. I mean, let's just be honest.
Get humbled pretty quick.
Yeah, man, it does. Life humbles you very quick. And I tell everybody this, man, family's the most important thing than anything in the world, not motorcycles, not podcasts. And it's my wife and my son, because that's what life's about. Right.
Yep.
Everything else that comes along with it is just an added bonus.
Right. Absolutely.
You know? And yeah, you got to listen, people. Basically what I'm saying, and you hear what Jeff's saying, is if anybody's out there struggling with anything, dude, you can call me. Everybody's got my number. If not, send me a message. I'll give you my number. We can talk to it. We'll work through this together. Right. It's yeah, man. Absolutely. Yeah. So
it's good to have. I'll just say, I wanted to tell a quick little story, but like what you were saying, being able to reach out and kind of lose the stigma of it being a negative thing to talk about something you're going through. Like, I was at a race round last year, and I won't mention their name, but a fellow racer knows about my sobriety, and he was hanging out with people, and someone cracked open a beer, and he reached down and like grabbed it without even thinking, and it shook him. And he came and found me and just walked up, told me what happened. We hugged it out. He felt good and went about his day and went out there and kicked ass on the racetrack. But yeah, don't be nervous to talk to people about it, man. Because if you talk to somebody about it and they cut you down and they're not there to support, that's just an easy way to weed those people out. You don't need kind of people like that.
Dude, that's a fact, dude. You got to cut the grass to see the snakes. And sometimes when you're living in fog, it all mirrors and blends in together. You don't see any snakes, right? So yeah, dude, you're absolutely right. I want to get back to a couple of these comments, man, just to give everybody a shout out. Josh, dude, Shriver, dude, what is up? He says the chef, the fastest chef there is, for sure. And then we got Andrew Davis. Well, this is going to be a freaking hoot. You, my friend Andrew, I hope you're doing well too, my friend.
Andrew Davis, what's up, brother?
Yeah, that's my dude, man.
Oh man, we got a lot of them.
Dude, we do. Brandon Triplett, bro, what is up? He says, "Good evening." You mean good morning, my friend? It's 11:51 a.m. I don't. And then Philip Hart, dude, another legend. What's up, guys? You, Philip, you, my friend. And then we got.
You tell Trevor's been watching Jay's Jay's podcast. It says that Chef eats Chef with a Z. That's
it.
that's the tagline in the podcast. It's funny.
I love it.
What's up, Chef?
Brian Mullen says I need to place an order for next weekend, bro. Get on
No.
it.
Yeah,
Get on it. You can order it as you're listening to the podcast. 100%. So yeah, man, for sure. Eddie K killing it, my dude. So yeah, I'm actually going to be at Daytona 200 working with Eddie K on his team this year.
Nice.
Super excited. Can't wait. I haven't publicly said that yet. So yeah, I'm
there it
I
is.
can't wait. And dude, so I had a conversation this morning. My man Mark 10 hit me up and
Love Mark.
Dude, he's absolutely amazing. Asked me if I had.
He's funny too.
Yes,
He's a funny dude.
I actually got a phone conversation coming up with him. Me and him's never been on the phone together. So, but he asked me a question if I had any ambassador roles for Pin to Gas, dude. And I was like, wait, what? I've never been asked that question, right? It's an absolute honor. So I got Dan Spalding. He's going to be my first Pin to Gas podcast ambassador. I can't wait. Nice, I just had to announce it and give the shout out. I still don't know what to think about it. It's all positive, of course. It's just I never thought I'd be in this position that I am, where I'm so well loved and received. And I'm a very humble guy, Jeff. You know that. You met me.
Oh, I know it, man.
I don't ask for anything. I don't, talk this and talk all that. I'm me, 100% genuine on here and off of here. But yeah, I just had to give that shout out, man. So yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna have a first ambassador for Pin to Gas, and if anybody else wants to be an ambassador, hit me up. I got you for sure.
That's awesome, man.
So,
you feeling a little anxious about it?
I am, dude. Yes, because it's like,
that's good, man. That's good.
It's a big.
I mean, something's happening. That's good, bro. Embrace it. Lean into it, dude.
Oh, trust me, I'm going to. One foot in front of the others always. And thank you, Jeff, for all the love and support you give me, man.
Absolutely.
It's absolutely amazing. And Jay Power actually has a question for you right now. He says, ask Jeff why he's so slow on a 300.
That's why I bought the Moto A 400s. Yeah. Listen, man, he's got I think he's got a Husky 720, I think it is. And he is a riot on that thing. Jay, he rides it like a dirt bike. Launching over curbs. It's the funnest thing to ride with him. Makes me want to get one, to be honest. So.
Facts, man. Facts. Dude, Jay Power, dude, hit me up, man. Shoot me a message. Me and you need to chat it up for sure. Dude, Brennan, thank you so much, dude. You know, it's nothing but love for you. He says we love Chris, speaking for the races in the back. That's I seen a missing niche in our sport, right? Everybody, I just wanted to be uncommon amongst uncommon podcasters in our motorcycle industry that's only this big of the world, right? I seen something missing, man, and I want to give the voice and the platform to everybody involved, just not the top well-known household names that constantly are on podcast, right? So I didn't know if it was going to be successful or not. I was nervous taking over. I didn't start this podcast. I took it over. So I didn't know how I was going to do, if I was going to be loved and accepted. And
an ass,
bro, I thank you. And I just want to say to everybody listening, and that's going to listen to this, it's because of you guys and girls are the reason why I'm in this position right now, for all your love and support. And it's an absolute honor, man. And I get teary-eyed talking about it sometimes, because it's just like, it's the best journey I've had in life besides my wife and my son, right? I just don't know what to say, but it's an absolute honor. So thanks to everybody.
Well deserved, man.
Proper
You're still doing this.
Yeah.
Pin the gas.
Pin the gas, baby. Let's go. So yeah, it's been a journey. But anyway, Jeff, man, so you just got the two 400s from the legend Isaac Woodworth. I love Isaac and his dad.
I don't know if it'd be two. It's like 3 3/4 and an engine. I don't know. He pretty much emptied a trailer and was just, it was funny. We were in Walmart at like midnight, and he's Kurt's launching tires across the parking lot, and we're just, throwing them in. It was, I'm so excited to ride those bikes, man. And the fact that it's Isaac's rides, just makes it so much more special, bro, because like I might have told this story before, but I met Isaac years ago at Jennings, and he was on a 300. He's with Julian, Michael was out there, and SDK. So I followed him around, but I had never learned Jennings. But I saw him. I said, man, he's going to be fast. So let me try to tuck behind them. I was having a hard time keeping up with them on my 636, and they're on a Honda 300. So Isaac ends up coming over, and he's looking at my bike, and I told him, like, hey man, if you want to ride it, go ahead. So it was like the first middleweight bike he had ridden, and he rode it faster than it's ever been and has since. But we got to talking that day, and I just asked, like, hey, is there any way I could help, with like meals or something? Because I don't know how any of this stuff works. So he was the first rider that we got connected with on a business side, as well as just like a support side, you know what I mean? And like getting to know what the sport's about. So, I got really, really lucky to have the first, dads I met in motorsports be Michael Correa and Kurt, and then being able to support them as well has been a real blessing, man. So having his bikes is just incredible. The A bike I'm going to keep forever. Maybe I can gift it to him when he's, when he pulls another championship in 10 years, and it's on the top step of the top shelf, and because I know these kids are going there, man. They're 100%. The talent that's showing up right now is fucking insane.
It's fucking ridiculous,
so
dude.
Cool to see, man.
It is.
It is so cool to see.
I actually got his belly pan hung up right here. He gave it to me at Jersey. The things come off. I bought new ones. I need to straighten it back out. But funny story about that. I met him at Jersey in 2023 the first time. I met a lot of my friends that I've had on the podcast that I hadn't got to meet before in real life. And that's one thing that I love to do is finally meet all my friends that I sat down and had the honor to speak with. And it just makes it full circle, just like you with the 400, man. It's full circle. It comes Absolutely. Around, right? And I remember I met my buddy Block and Eli. And he's like, I got something for you, Simcoe. Dude, he gives me his full leather suit, right? Which I got hung up back here. I got some more hooks that I need. And he signed it. And Isaac kept asking me that weekend, who's your favorite rider? I'm your favorite rider. Who's your favorite rider? So when Eli gave me that suit, I walked up to Isaac and was like, well, I guess Eli's in the lead right now for my favorite rider, right? Yeah. So at the end of the weekend, he gave me this and he signed it, and I gave him a big old hug like I always do, and I whispered in his ear, I said, Isaac, you're my favorite rider. You're always going to be my number one, right? So yeah, I just thought it was funny. It's something that me and him still talk about. Oh, and listen, people, I'm warning, don't let Isaac run off with your cell phone. I gave my cell phone to him and to Mario, bro. And I got my phone back, and I'm going through my photos, and there's a bunch of goofy photos that they, selfies, making all these faces they took. And I was crying, laughing at the hotel that day. So yeah, freaking awesome, dude. It's awesome. It is. That the kids are, the people that are coming out, and I say it all the time, I'm a big supporter of SFL Mini GP, whether it's Jersey or South Florida, man. Those are where our legends of our sport are coming from. It's the best program we have in America, hands down. Absolutely. Just look at all the talent that's coming out of there. Speaking up north, you got Medea, Posh, Mazziato, Gus Rodeo. Down south, we got Isaac, Andrew Way, Ella Dreyer, Avery Dreyer, Jillian Carrera, Juju. It's in the list, Andrew Way. The list just keeps going on, and it's such an honor to be part of everybody's journey and see everybody growth and succeed in life. It's
all really humble, good kids too.
Yes, they
Super
are.
Humble, good kids.
Yes, they are, man. It's awesome, dude. Fast as fuck. You right.
Juju at the classic, not this last one, but the year before, man. I don't even remember what turn it was. It was at Jennings, and he passed me on the outside and just looked at me the whole way and gave me a thumbs up. And I thought I was moving. I'm like, fuck yeah. Yeah. I mean, he walked me and gave me a nod, a thumbs up, full lean, elbow on the ground. I was like, what the fuck just happened?
Another slice of humble pie, right? For us,
man,
it's like,
it was
bro,
the whole pie, bro.
yeah,
Fresh out the oven. He was like, here you go. That was fun though. We didn't make it this year, but that was a fun trip. I don't know how much riding. I'm going to be doing some riding this year. I don't know how much racing I'm going to do, but I'm probably going to do some of the more local ones. So I think I might try to do Wera, Road Atlanta, and I think I might get the 400s out. I'd really like to bring those out to that track and see what that's about. And I'll be also coaching this year with Fastline Track Days. So that'll be fun. So, and with Fastline, it's great. I love their program's incredible. The owners are fucking awesome. And, they don't have any vending at some of the places they go. So I don't bring any of my setup. I'm just able to go there and coach. And I'm a firm believer that, teaching something only makes you better at it. And I've always been that way. Like, even if I don't know something well, I'll learn it enough to be able to try to teach it to someone else so we can learn together. And it helps me progress. So, just in the few weekends I did last year coaching really improved my riding. And it's really cool to have people, you go out for sessions and see improvements. And it holds you accountable too. I realized that very quickly because, you can't tell somebody to do this, this, and this, and then go out and not do the things you're telling, people that it's better to do it, this way and learning fundamentals. So that kind of brought me back. And that I'm looking forward to, I think, more than anything this year is obligating myself to those weekends and just going out and having fun and not worrying about cooking full paddock, meals. I know that's awesome, but well, I'll still do that a little bit, but it won't be the focus, putting up that whole setup and breaking it down and just operating through the weekend is super stressful. So, I did it for one season and that it wore me out mentally, so I'm looking forward to just, working hard when I'm not at the track, but when I'm at the track, I'm just there to have fun. And I'm really, really excited about that.
Yeah,
really,
dude.
really am.
I'm sure it's hard for you to not bring meals to the track because you want to feed people the epic food you have, but at the same time it's you got to find that correct balance of having fun and still providing meals for everyone, right? Otherwise I feel like you just get in this rut and it's just like I'm not having fun at the track because I'm just here working. I can't go around, give hugs and say hi, and if I do it's literally this much, but I want more, right? So it's good to have that balance, right?
Well, even then you're tied to the tent too. So, it's not like I can travel around and go say hi to people. So it's, it's once again that I've got a foot in each, playground. But I'm not putting 100% or even 60%, to, it's split down the middle. So I'm putting 50% effort into one, 50% effort in the other, and neither of them are thriving. Because, if you're not having fun on track and not excited to get out there, you get dangerous. It's just it's not good. It's not good being a bad headspace or a stressed headspace or feeling spread too thin or rushing. And, I found that to be the case sometimes, so I'm excited to just show up with my family. And Steph has started riding, which is fucking awesome. We got her a 300. So she's been out cruising around on that, which has been super dope. And we ride around the back roads out here. We're in rural North Georgia, so we get to zipping around these back roads on our race bikes. But just looking forward to doing that, being able to enjoy my family a little bit more. And there are some events that we'll vend at this year, but definitely not going to be. I mean, at one point, a year and a half ago, we did like 8 weekends in a row. We were traveling, anywhere from 300 to 1,000 miles, one way, going to these different places. And that wears down on you, especially when you got to be at work cooking 300 meals, first thing Monday morning. That sucks.
Yes,
So,
it does.
yeah, it's not fun.
But it's what you provide for the community when you do show up is absolutely amazing, and I hear it all the time. Every time I walk through the pod, I hear about ChefEatz, and of course it's all my t-shirts and all that. So yeah, it's amazing. You're right. You got to have that right balance in life. It's very important. When I first took over the podcast, man, I was just like pedal to the metal. Of course, a lot of people say I still am, but I got to find that right balance of still making my queen happy and providing her, our separate time together. And same thing with my son. And, my dad's gotten involved in it. He comes to a lot of races with me and wears, dude, I never thought in a million years I would see my dad in a pink, blue, bright yellow Pendergast podcast shirt.
Badass, dude.
Dude, it's absolutely amazing. So it's again, you got to have that right balance. And sometimes we get lost in the moment, doing what we're doing and
blinders on.
Dude, it does, but but when we have that on, bro, we don't realize what it's taken away from everybody right around us too at the same time. Absolutely. So yeah, man, you are absolutely right. We got Michael Kellum. What is up, my man? He said, yes. ChefEatz, let's fucking go. You're right.
Yeah, let's talk about Kellum. Actually, Kellum, I hope he's still in here. Some people, or I would assume most people know, I work with Michael Kellum with Hyper Naked brand right here. We make custom suits, custom gloves, and custom shirts. So, you were talking about earlier that I need to get you a shirt. And Kellum's actually currently working on a new race shirts for everyone. And we're going to be using those, for staff at the storefront, you know what we're about when you see see ChefEatz. So we've got Isaac's plaque, his thank you plaque for the support. We've got both of those sitting on a register. We support it, bro. You know what I mean? So, but Hyper Naked, if anybody, I'd love to get Michael on here. I'll
bring him in.
Yeah, Michael, if you're hearing this, man, jump on in and we'll chat it up. But I've been riding with Hyper Naked for pretty much since I started. And, just like you were saying, dude, Bison, another great company and great owners, they're great. It makes all the difference, dude. As you were saying, I had a RST, rack suit, and it fit all right. And honestly, like when I was wearing it, people told me all the time, get a custom suit, get a custom. I'm like, why? This thing fits me fine. I feel good in it. I can do what I want. But then, something happens and stuff moves around a little too much and doesn't protect you as well, and you get injured. And then you switch over to a custom suit and you actually see how big of a difference it makes to, be snug and be fit how it's supposed to fit, and protect all those crucial areas. If it's not tailored, it's, padding's not going to be in the right spot. Armor's not going to be in the right spot. And that can be a pretty bad thing, man. What we do is fucking dangerous, So, and I'm sure everybody knows, my Hyper Naked suits are tried and tested. I think my first one, I think I crashed 7 times before I retired it. And this new shell, it seems that, as soon as I get a new suit, that first day I end up low siding and scuff it up. So I did that with this one too, but upgraded to the Helite integrated, and that thing is it's sick, man. The inflation is quick. Feels like you're getting a big bear hug, and I walked away with it without any injuries. So shout out to Michael. Hopefully he can jump in at some point and add a little bit more to that conversation. But custom designs, holler at us.
Michael, I know you're listening. I'm sending you the link right now. All you got to do is click on it. It'll bring you directly in the studio. And yeah, we'll talk about Hyper Naked for sure.
For sure.
Listen, I remember my first, I just sent you the link, Mike. So I remember my first suit that I had. It was too big. it was flapping like a parachute in the wind. And when I first had
when
my
you get in
crash,
tuck,
bro, yeah, it's like beating me
Yeah.
up, choking me and shit. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? But you
trying to rip you off the back of the bike.
yeah, man.
Yeah.
It's and then when I had my first wreck, man, you know, the suit was wrapped around my arm and I got this bad cherry rash going on because it didn't fit me correctly, right? And it's once I got my full custom suit, man, it just makes a world of a difference. Like it's
for sure.
It's yeah. Hang on, let me send him the link again.
I sent it to him too. He might have
did you?
Computer, yeah.
All right, let's see.
Oh, he said, "Yeah, I'm here."
We don't see you. You got to click on the link. When you click on the link, it'll bring you directly in the studio, and then I got to accept the invite. But I'll see you pop up.
Kellum's cute, but he's slow.
I love it. Boom, there it is.
Another thing I love about the brand, and you know it. I feel honored to be part of it because it's a unique brand. You know, some of the suits you see come out of Hyper Naked, you know, are just they're unique. Man, there's not much we won't put on a suit.
So, how did you and Kellum and Hyper Naked come together?
You know, we have mutual friends. Now we're all, you know, quite close. But I don't know if you've met Mike Matt. He's a really close friend of mine as well. And oh shit, there he is.
Here he is. Can you hear us just fine, Mike? He's like, yep.
I thought he was going to start talking like the Godfather or something.
Yeah, I was going to say I'm not slow. That I was in there with two PCs going at the same time and proving how slow I actually am. Good morning, everybody. Or good afternoon. How's everybody doing today?
Listen, it's an honor, Mike, to have you on the podcast.
Thanks for the invite. Happy to be here.
Yeah, for sure, man. We was just talking about how Chef and you actually come together from the get-go.
I think it was funny. I think we were just talking shit to each other one day.
Yeah,
and, that was pretty much it. We got
we knew the same people. And I think we just kind of picked fun at each other a couple times, and then you know, that was kind of it. And you know, like I said, the one of the things that has always attracted me about the brand is it is the brand. You know, Hyper Naked. There's no questioning, you know, when you see a Hyper Naked suit, because it's the ideas are unique, the designs are unique, that are typically stand out, and some of them I think it's fair to say that, you know, there's some other companies that might not put together some of the suits that we've put together, and you know it goes to the, you know, the turn of phrase, stand on business, and Hyper Naked is Hyper Naked, and Hyper Naked will always be Hyper Naked. And that's what I really liked about the company and Kellum.
What we really want to do is we want to drive an emphasis on support, right? We're not ever going to be a company or a shop that tries to take over the market. We're never going to be a company that it's just the dollar is all that we care about. I could care less about money. And Jeff will tell you this. I really don't give a crap about this business making a profit. It's not a driving factor for me. I really just want to make cool things, right? But I want it to be the highest level of safety. And what I think the coolest thing is what you think the coolest thing is. The moments of the phone call and the exciting discussions and the laugh we might get at an idea. All of these ideas that we have are a collaborative between the customer and us, just sitting there and, you know, just poking fun at things.
Yeah.
So everything comes really organically because of it. And as long as we keep the mark there, we'll stay here for a long time. But it's a very big part of what our mission statement's becoming, is to just be, a quality component to what your operation is. We want to be known as good ethics business people. We want to make sure we don't, by all case, have any issues with customers. We want to provide a high quality product, and I know that's the business talk is the required part of it, right? But we just really want to do good every single time, and have fun while we do it. And if we can't do good things and have fun while we do it, we will no longer be here. We'll back away as quickly as we came in.
Yeah.
No,
I mean,
pretty
some of the designs that come in, a lot of times, you know, people are, hey, do you think you could? And it's already, yeah.
Oh, somebody gives us a, hey, do you think you could? I'm absolutely going on that one.
Right. And Michael, question for you is how did this whole Hyper Naked brand start with you?
I lost you for a minute there. What was that?
I said, how did the whole Hyper Naked brand start with you?
Well, couple different ways, but I guess the best way to describe it is we were wanting to just try to do something different. And the more we tried to do it, the more resistance we got from getting any type of help. We all know that this industry, while there are some good people in it, there's a lot of not good people in this industry. So we were getting just hurdle after hurdle, but in the nature of the community that we've created, Jeff is a huge part of it, but in our community, our really tight-knit community, which he knows exactly what I'm talking about, you got a lot of support. So the more hurdles I got, the more motivation I was getting to push forward. And we finally figured it out. We finally made a couple good things. You know, it was hard at first because we didn't have the right manufacturing support. I had to learn. I built 5 or 6 suits before I let anybody try a suit on, which all costs, right? It was 12 or 15 pairs of gloves before I handed off anything. So there was a huge buying cost. I didn't just take the easy button and pick somebody. A couple years into it, last year, I believe, was the last year, Jeff, we joined forces with Plus.
Mm-hmm.
So last year we realized that a huge goal that was scaling up our operation, scaling up meaning having quality, like known quality manufacturing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I can't speak good enough about Plus. Plus has been a very, very interesting relationship we've had. Big part about Plus is they come to America every single year to meet with me, right? So not only do I have full access to the manufacturing facility because they own the building for just them and multiple others, but they come here, so I have hands-on access to the product, which, in my opinion, would make us not why we're not Suit Man. Just we have a tighter conduit. Yeah, but all things considered, it was just the more hurdles they threw at us, the more we wanted to do it, and we did it.
I love it, man. It's you have an amazing product. I don't own one, right? I'm a Bison ambassador, but
Sure.
I said this earlier, all custom suits is what you want. You can't go wrong with any of them. I recently just did a podcast. If you guys hadn't had a chance to listen to it, you need to go listen to it. I had Bison and AGV Sports Group on the podcast where we talked about, the big black market counterfeiting of all these leather suits coming in. I get messages daily, multiple messages. Hey, I'm this, and I can make you a suit for $400 and all this, right? I think it's important for everybody to grow because we're all in the same sport, right? And one thing that I love about our beautiful circus, Michael and Jeff, that I tell everybody is we want to see everybody succeed in our sport, right? We in
this call on everybody to succeed, but Jeff would say I'm an honest guy, but your sentiment is not the industry standard, right? Like you brought up Bison, Robert Lackey, love that guy. He's a sweetheart. Robert is one of the coolest guys. Short story about Robert. He was the one who helped me get a good access to tailoring services. Can't say enough good about Bison. Love those guys.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you said, some of us want to promote and we want to build from within, we want to support everybody, but that isn't necessarily the case in this industry. There's a lot of cutthroat in all sects of this business. There's it's alarming actually. And I don't need to name any names. I'm sure we've all had an experience where something in the moto industry either took money from you or just was sorely below expectations. I think as a whole, we need to work on that. And we need to come to terms with, this is people's hobbies. And you can ruin their hobby by giving them a bad financial experience. And not one person who's riding a bike on the track rides that thing for showroom stock. Right. So everybody is not only taking a large investment, but they are spending money, constantly to maintain their hobby. The average male hobby in America spends about $250 a year on their hobby. brother, I spent $80,000 last year on mine. Right, this is a real thing. Jeff knows I'm not. This is a true story. I'm not kidding. Right, so we aren't like normal people. The least we can do is just support the people that are good, create a conduit where we can help everybody evenly, and just develop a good product and make it fun and easy as possible. And if you're one of those types of people, I don't care if you're a competing business. I will talk great about you. I always have, and I will continue to support you like I support myself.
Yeah. It's beautiful. That's one thing that I love about our sport. And you're right. I call them, there's always clowns in our beautiful circus, right? That sometimes they're good. Sometimes they just leave this sour taste in your mouth and you just don't want nothing to do with them or their specific items, right? So to speak. Not calling no names out because that's not what we're here to do. We're here to spread all the love and inform people on good information and proper information and send them whatever direction or path they choose to take on whatever suit, gloves, boots, helmet, whatever it is to get them
tires, sprocket,
dude, the whole nine, right? Yes,
it could be anything, right? Anything.
Yep, 110%. And Trevor Watson says, the craziest suit from Hyper Naked is a squid drinking a Bud Light seltzer.
We've got some really interesting suits. Mike Matt's suit's actually fantastic. Love Mike Matt to death. He's the third amigo or the fourth amigo, Jeff. I'd say he's the fourth amigo, right? He really introduced pushing the envelope for me. What people don't see on his suit is I got three-dimensional lighting features from Tron built into that suit, actually. You can't, but the squid and the Bud Light seltzer takes away the light. If you really look at it, there's three-dimensional depth to it. Joey Kim, we all love Joey Kim, right? That fucking lunatic. He's got a white suit with rainbow patterned dicks on it. But this year is going to be an exciting year for Hyper Naked brand because now that we're a little bit known and now that people know that we build suits that just don't make sense, that I've had some people reaching out to build some really cool things, and hopefully this is the year of historical accuracy. We were able to, for Brent Talley, the man Brent, he's also a great guy. You should talk to him at some point. He's a riding instructor locally here. He gave me the opportunity to build a Templar Knight suit. So what we did was I posted it because I'm very excited about it. I did two for him, and it's going to have three-dimensional features. So the chainmail will be three-dimensional. We've got shading features into the armor on top, so it looks like it's popping off of the suit. We're beginning to realize that I myself was holding back. Like I can go even further than I thought I could. Now, as far as the design time, it is painstaking. It's a total loss when we do this, but cool factor through the roof. So we're going for it. We're going to go for it all year long. So hopefully this year you see a lot of historically accurate designs. There's a bunch of them if you think about it. The first time you think of somebody cool in history and you giggle, that's the one for you.
100%. Yeah. I think it's important too in our industry. Everybody has their own little personalities, right? And in their own little special uniqueness that they bring to the sport that they can offer. It's what makes everybody stand out as an individual, like ChefEatz, right? Hyper Naked, Bison, 4SR Plus, right? They all had their own little elements to the game, right? And some pop out to others, and you're like, yeah, I'm gonna roll with this one, I'm gonna go with that one, and then each one, like you, Michael, already know, bring a unique, special element to each customer that you have, right? And we was saying that, Michael, tell everybody where they can get a Hyper Naked suit.
Well, if you want to get a hold of us, you can reach directly out to Jeff or myself. Okay, I keep the circle small, so it's one of the two of us. If you want to shop our products, trackdaytailor.com or hypernakedbrand.com. But I strongly recommend, if you're going to work well with us, talk to us first. Buying a suit is not like buying a set of tires or a chain or a Kropovich exhaust. We're going to have to make a relationship. I need to make sure you know exactly what you're getting. We're going to measure you. The measurements are invasive. Like, we're going to see you in your skivvies. Like, and I will do it multiple times. I feel comfortable with it. It is a little bit weird, but I need everyone to realize that we give a shit about you. Like, we care. We don't want somebody's suits we don't want your suit to open up. We want to make sure if you need to slide, you can, right? So call us, talk to us, make sure we're the right ones for you. I urge everybody, if you're going to go with a brand of suit, talk to the people, Make sure you love them. Make sure you feel like they've got your back if there's a problem, because at the end of the day, everybody here is an suit importer. We all rely on, logistically the East Coast or the Middle East or Europe to provide a quality product, and our relationships with them are what you're paying for. So make sure you vet your people out, and you make. It's funny.
I know, dude. That's what I was laughing at.
That was good. But again, just make sure you love the people that you're working with. Make sure that you feel like they're going to give you a refund if you deserved it. Make sure that you just really have a good relationship with them, because chances are you're going to be calling them after the suit's finished. You're going to be calling them if you have an issue, when you slide it, when you break it. And hopefully they'll do awesome things. I know one of the things that we like to do for our riders is we try to lessen the burden of a new suit by only replacing the shell of the suit. All of these suits are modular. So a lot of our program is buy a suit, buy the armor, buy the liner. And then if you need a replacement, it's an invasive repair would cost the same as a new shell for us. I'll keep the numbers out of the discussion because it's frowned upon in the industry, but it's not as expensive as people would think to get a whole new leather outer shell and liner for your suit. So if you're riding with us, we try to make things open like that, keep the cost down.
Yeah.
I
mean, like you were saying earlier, it's expensive. Everything.
Yeah, it's really expensive. I mean, like, look at, like, Jeff, you've got like 65 bikes in your house, and all of them are ship options, but at least they're halfway decent. Like, you can ride them, right? So there's at least $50 there. No, that's you.
I'm looking for Joey Kim's comment saying, "Yeah, but they're all Cowies." So,
yeah, they're all shitty.
$200 total.
As soon as he looks at it, it falls over in the dealership.
That's awesome. You're right. I remember when I got measured. I did it instead of doing the whole computer thing over the phone, all this, I was like, nope, I want to get it done in person by you specifically. Right. And I was out there in Wisconsin at Road America is when I got fitted. I'm walking through the paddock in an undersuit and just like pretty much my underwear with a back protector on, just while like do right. Yeah, it's up close and personal, but that's also part of the process of getting it. And once I got my suit, of course, first thing I did is you got to throw it on, like immediately throw it on. Right. And I remember my wife come home. She looked at me. She says, "What the fuck are you doing? Like, you are so bright right now, dude. They can see you from space." I said, "That's exactly what I wanted." Right.
Yeah. When you put that suit on for the first time, you have that aha moment, right? You have that like, oh shit, this thing really is made for me. Like, and then the other big thing I tell everybody is with a custom suit, when you get on the bike and you go ride, if you are not thinking about it, if it is not a contributing factor, if you just rode the ride and nothing come to mind about it, it fits. Right. Try to keep it simple. Don't walk around the paddock and like be showing your cock off to your friends like Trevor will be doing, especially when it's cold out, right? Right. And then like look at my dick, looks at my suit, like, no, dude, just get on the bike and ride the bike. If it isn't a contributing, John, I don't know if everybody here knows John Blizback online, right? He's that's my guy, right? My local guy. He was the first one. He was like, he was the one who made me realize it. I said, Aaron, man, we were out at something. I was like, how did it fit? And I'm tinkering with this thing and I'm making sure he's perfect, because if anybody's going to like really test it, it would be him. He's arguably the fastest guy that I know. That I would consider I'm friends with, right? Shut the fuck up, Jeff. I see you looking over there. You're like, this motherfucker right here. Yeah, fuck you, okay? Motherfucker. No, I'm not ordering lasagna.
Right?
By the way, the lasagna is the best. If it's on the menu, order that shit. It is fucking great.
Dude, I haven't had the lasagna, but I did have Jeff sent me a cheesesteak tortellini. And man, I was like, oh my God, this stuff is so amazing. My son tried it. And he's like, holy shit, you getting more of that? I was like, no, this is just me. But next time I'll get you one, right?
But to finish my thought, so John gets off the track and I'm like, how did he feel? Because, John's got many suits. He's, got a custom Dainese suit, which freaking phenomenal. Like, that's amazing suit. And he was like, yeah, I think he says, yeah, it's like a 14.8. That's how I responded to it. And I went, oh, so you weren't even thinking about it. He was like, yeah, it wasn't even a factor. And then that's when I realized, like, when it fits right, you're just riding. You're having a great time. you're thinking about your braking markers and your throttle and your body position. You're not thinking about, how does my knee feel in the suit? How do I look for the photo guy? Like,
You said that was
last thing we need you to do. Last thing we need you to be is like Trevor when he's going around the track thinking about what his dick looks like for the photo guy. I don't even know Trevor, but ever since that joke, I feel like I got to keep talking about him now.
Trevor's awesome. I actually get to meet him at Daytona this year, which I'm super excited about. I've had him on the podcast before. He's definitely a character.
He's a good dude. He's fun.
Yeah, from what I see online, he's pretty fast, and his friends like him. I think his wife likes him too.
I hope so, right?
Friends on Facebook, maybe. Anyway, he looks cool.
Yeah, dude, that's hilarious, man.
Chris, tell me about you, man. Like I watch your podcast on rerun just because of timing, right? But tell me about you, man. Like, what's your interest? What are you all about?
So I grew up in the Navy. My dad was a fighter pilot. That's how I got introduced to motorcycles at a young age. Instead of being into like toys and Legos and all that, every time somebody looked for me, I was out there in the garage trying to get on this motorcycle. My dad used to take me racing. I grew up riding dirt bikes. And when I was in high school, about a 1996 ZX6R, brand new off the showroom floor, right? I was a cool kid in school. I didn't buy a car. My mom was shitting bricks, worried about me. She's like, what are you going to do when it's cold? I fucking dress warm. What are you going to do when it's rain? I said, I guess I'll get wet, right? It's like, I'll figure this shit out. This is what I want to do. So I give my whole life to the sport, been to mini races, MotoGP races, yada, yada, yada. It's something that at a young age, Mike, that I felt this deep passion for that's nothing's ever been able to replace or replicate, right? It's something that when you're deeply passionate about something, it comes naturally and it comes easy, instead of trying to work for it. So the whole podcast thing come about. I was actually the first guest on Pin the Gas podcast. These two other guys, big shout out to Northeast Jules and Andy Rowe. Andy lived in Florida. He hit me up and said, hey, I'll be at VIR. Are you going? Of course, I go every year, right? So we ended up meeting up. We had this conversation. They invited me on as a guest. We just used to do race reviews. And I was like, why don't we get the guys on and the girls, right? And of course, it's Jake Gagne and Cam Bobby. I'm like, absolutely not. I seen a missing niche in our sport when it comes to podcasts. Everybody goes after the household names all the time, right? And it's usually the same story from podcast to podcast, right? And I wanted to be uncommon amongst uncommon motorcycle podcasts in the industry. And I wanted to give that voice and that platform to everybody else, whether you're a track day rider, somebody looking into getting a track, you're an advanced group, you're looking to get into Moto America or whatever it is. I wanted to be able to bridge that gap. And that would be my contribution to help the sport grow and bring a positive outlook to different things and talk about subjects that a lot of other podcasters don't talk about in the industry, right? If we don't talk about it, how's it going to change? How are we going to grow? You know what I mean? So yeah, that's my standpoint.
You made a good point. You say that you found your passion, right? Like I applaud you for that. I'm 40. I'll be 42 next month. And I have been like lurking and searching for my passion. What's my passion, right? I've come to terms with that. I just like the tools, man. I like to wrench. It doesn't matter what I'm working on. Jeff will tell you, we weren't going to talk about it today, but I'm actually transitioning away from bikes a little bit personally because I just can't ride. I'm too broken. My hips and my knees have been repaired to a point so where I'm just so uncomfortable to try to go faster. And if you're not trying to go faster, just riding on the track is not for you. This is not a safe environment, in my opinion. So I've transitioned to working on stuff, and I'm working on trying to go stay on the track, but four wheels. And turns out I just like wrenching more than anything else. So if you guys need somebody to build your shit in the track and give me an invite, I will work on it. I would work on Jeff's shit, but when he bends it, he bends it to fucking sayonara.
I love it. Yeah, also with that is I wanted to, give a voice to the people that change the tires, the engineers, the team owners, right? That they bring a different dynamic, and everybody's got a beautiful story to tell on how they got involved in two wheels and how it changed their life, right? Again, it's giving back to the industry that's given me everything my whole life and still does. So
you said it right. Giving that's what I was alluding to, the perspective of the guys that are not, setting the elbow down picture or, setting track records, but not quite making it to the big show. Like there's a lot of interesting, perspective, I think, that we can learn. And a lot of times I feel like we need to appreciate those people. Like I see a lot of guys that are, one-man bands, right? Jeff's really clear about not being a one-man band, right? But all these one-man bands, they've got people behind them, supporting them. Let's make sure we give those guys a little bit of the spotlight too.
100%, man. Yeah, it's when I took it over, dude, just to be honest with everybody, and I say it, I didn't know how well it would do, right? I'm like, I don't know if there's really going to be an interest in this. I see the missing niche. Hopefully, people will accept me, and it's been a proper mega ride, as I always say, right? I'm a very humble guy, Mike. I don't ask anything from anybody. I'll never hit Jeff up and say, man, can I get some ChefEatz meal? I'll give Jeff $100 and pay it out of my pocket, because I want to see him thrive and survive in the industry and grow too as well, right? I just look at it. I don't look at. I give a shout this long. I got a long list of shout outs I give at every podcast, and I don't get anything from any of them. I don't ask for anything for free. It's everything that comes along with it is just a bonus, right? I don't do this to make money podcasting. Would I love to make a living just podcasting? I would, but it's not something that I just solely seek out for, because then I wouldn't be as passionate about it. Now it's a full-time job and all this responsibility and yada, yada, yada. I've had opportunities and offers before, but I've turned them down because, they want me to naturally gear it towards a certain subject all the time and kind of change my platform up. And I'm like, no, absolutely not. I'm me. This is what you get. If you're not on board with me, then I just can't do it. So
I got that from you 100% from watching the videos. You're going to do this the way you think it needs to be done. You're very consistent, and I do appreciate that you give people the ability to talk, man. You give everybody the chance to be heard. And that's again, that's as you get older. Like I said, I'm an old man now, right? You realize that that's important for people to have their voice heard. So hats off to you for creating this conduit.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Hey guys, again, I'm taking 2 minutes. I gotta piss.
Go ahead, man. you go ahead, Jeff. We got this. Yeah, Mike. It's just again, it's something that I seen missing in our sport, man, and I really wanted to fill that gap, and so yeah, man. Dude, Mike, I get emotional about it when I talk about it sometimes, man, because it's something that I never thought that I would be able to do, right? And make people happy and provide all that. So yeah, it's absolutely amazing. And then we got of course the legend himself, my man Robert Lackey. What is up? He says, what is up, Hyper Naked family?
Yeah, it's like I said earlier in the video. He's that's the guy right there. He helped me. Like, I needed a hand, and he was quick with it. He was the one who actually, pulled back the curtain a little bit. He was the one who enlightened me to. There's enough meat on this bone for everyone. He's like, do the thing that you do the way you want to do it, and it will work, right? And I realized that from like Robert, like he's got his family, he's moving them around, like he turned his whole life upside down for this, right? He's more committed than any single person in this sect of the industry, far more than I am, right? And he's sitting there telling me that I can eat off the bone, right? So I'm never like, I took that one to heart. Like, that guy is a sweetheart. If he ever called me for a hand, I would give it to him 100 times over every day.
Absolutely.
Like, again, that guy is awesome. Shout out to people that are wearing bison suits. I see the armor. There's a armor plate in the left of you right there, the chest armor piece. Yeah, see, that was a good one too. Yeah, it's a really excellent stuff. They make good stuff, man. They make a lot of it. And I don't think as far as a business who supports riding, just like the roots of riding, I don't think there's a larger entity that supports them. Bison is all about supporting and creating a world where this can continue to be a thing. So shout out to them. For sure, 100%.
Yeah, absolutely. Big shout out to Bison. Trevor's got a question. He says, "Hey Simcoe, listen, man, what's your celebrity crush? What's my celebrity crush? Oh man, there's many celebrity crushes, right? But if I just had to pick one off the top of my head, man, growing up is Samia Hayek, dude. I mean, drop dead freaking gorgeous, but the list is long, right? So with saying that, you asked me that. Let's just go ahead and ask Jeff and Michael right here the same question.
I'll answer for Jeff. Jeff's crush is Idris Elba. He likes 50 Cent too a little bit. I know he likes 50 Cent.
Yeah.
Actually,
it was Diddy.
Diddy.
Yeah.
To the freak off, baby. Let's go.
But now that gets frowned upon.
Right?
Yeah. Oh, that's hilarious. That is awesome. What I should have said was Jeff Servin. Absolutely my celebrity crush.
Right. Yeah.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah. I'll agree on that one.
Yep. James Allen said, "Why am I so horny all of a sudden? Good seeing you guys." That's why, James. Absolutely, that's why. That's awesome, man.
He's a good dude too, man. Fast.
Yeah.
I got to race with him a lot. Not necessarily actually race together, but we were in the paddock and we always just happened to be next to each other. Super good dude, super good dude, though. Good Lord.
No, yeah, it's I met James Allen at big shout out to him at VIR during the Azure track days. Went down there and hung out. I did 2 live podcasts there. I did one with Philip Hart and another buddy, Pat Sheridan from SFL Mini GP, and ran into James and we got to chatting. And big shout out to him because he's actually working with my man Isaac Woodworth at Carnes Performance, Elisa and Levy Batty. So, bro, I'm
so fucking stoked about that.
Bro, this year, dude, it's the level of game has changed from 24 to 25, right? There's been 100%. So many seats going, and now we got the new class in, the Talent Cup that's taken over the Junior Cup. So let me ask you two that. What is your thoughts on the whole Talent Cup and the Junior Cup going away?
I'll go first. I love it. I love the Talent Cup. A little concerning because it seems like Big Bank is starting to get in a little too close to the kids riding, right? Mm-hmm. And I hate that for the fast kids who don't have access. Right. Yeah. It's gonna create a world where they just can't compete eventually, right? But on the other end of it, like Big Bang investing in the sport, like you never want to not see that. We just got to make sure we set the expectations to where, fuck you if you're financing a W.
Right.
Especially in the younger leagues.
Yeah, for sure.
I think that's a tough. I think there could have been better options. There's comparable. If it's really if the pitch was it's really to bring kids from this level to this level on an international stage, I think there could have been a better option as far as chassis and might have even been a little less expensive. It's a shame. I haven't. Have you heard any real teams like coming out that they're in the Talent Cup? I haven't seen much about it. To be fair, a lot of people that I follow have moved up into twins, but we're still eligible for the Talent Cup. But were they able to drop $70,000 to have an A and B bike? Just at the very beginning, opening stages of your season without even doing a qualifier, you're 70 grand in. That's give or take probably, but if you're talking spares and 2 bikes, spares and all that, when you could have done it a lot cheaper, on a different platform. And then, are the kids that are super, super fast on a 400, is them moving to a different chat? Is it going to be the defining factor on their advancement in the sport? And I think that's a big question. Where you can really look at it and say, was this a move to advance children further in the sport to a higher level, or was it something else? And, obviously it's all speculation. So, I guess that's as far as you could go on that.
Yeah, I got so many mixed emotions about it. Like, first and foremost, I just wish that when they come out with the Junior Cup, I was like, what a great platform, little 400s. Dude, me, Michael, and Jeff can go out and freaking buy 4 400s with salvage titles for $3,000, right? Yeah. Let's just be honest. Dump $5,000 into it and fucking pay the stupid $450 for the Dunlop tires, and we can go racing, right?
We can have a team.
dude,
We've
we
done
have
that.
a team.
It's
Yeah.
been done. Right? It's been done. You did it last
Yeah.
year, didn't you, Jeff?
Yeah.
You shoot, bring the bite together, and actually, that was Abe. Abe did that.
Yeah.
Abe did
Yeah, I
that.
mean, there was a ton of teams that were, Kurt, for example, busting his fucking ass off to get these bikes and make the trips and, doing, handling his business back home and literally like getting done with a job, hopping in a trailer, driving hours to, go back and forth and buying these bikes. And it was, while it was, I'm sure, challenging, it was feasible. Luckily, Isaac is just a bundle of talent. So, he's able to his talent is cashing checks now and making things more accessible for him. But it's all from what Kurt was able to do and really work his tail off and get the support systems needed and honestly drain his own pocket, but it was still feasible. And it makes me, I don't know any firsthand stories, with this new Talent Cup thing, but from the outside looking in, it does look like it would be a lot more difficult for somebody to put together a team in the manner that they have the last couple years,
For sure.
and that makes me sad, because, we want to see kids out there being excited about an opportunity and having it within reach, and the fact of the matter is there's some of these kids that can hop on a smaller, they can start riding at 12, 13, and they just have a natural talent. And now all of a sudden, they're fast, and they want to get into racing, and it might not be as accessible. So, granted, it's still accessible on a club level, but on a bigger stage, it just seems like accessibility each year is slipping a little bit further away, and that makes me sad.
Yeah,
but I guess that's the.
It's like I explained it to people, when they first introduced the Twins Cup class, it was supposed to be a feeder class, cheap entry level, and then it turned into a full blown superbike class, right? Same thing with the 400s at the end, man. You had people that were $20,000 on a 400. Dude, listen, I love Moto America. I just feel like they should have brought that cost down, right? Be like, okay, you can have a stock bike minus your clip-ons and your rear sets, right? The suspension, of course, which I don't care if you got stock suspension, but once you get to a certain fast level, you got to have different internals to keep you progressing. That's fine. But all this other stuff that goes along with it, I feel like if our sport's really going to grow and we're going to get young riders in Moto America, we need to have a cheap class, not just one. We need to have the first two classes.
What if I can build up what you just said there? I don't know if it's the class. See, Moto America is our top, right? That's our peak ish in America, right? I mean, let's be honest, we don't really have a big feeder system. The problem is we don't have a big feeder system. You don't have minor leagues. You don't have a farm league or we barely have fucking Sunday beer pickup like events, right? So if we were going to do ourselves a service, we need to broaden the sport and have more events, more leagues, more accessibility. But then again, like I was saying earlier, like the businessmen of this are not a fan of more leagues and more events because they feel like it's taking from them instead of building the sport to a larger scale. If we had a bigger feeder system, we wouldn't be having this conversation right now.
100%.
100%. And speaking of, like SFL mini GP, I mean, that whole program is incredible. And, I guess this is a good time to drop this news. With the last couple of years, there's things that have happened, with my business and, just bullshit. Right. And it put me in a place, like I said earlier, where I'm very particular about where I'm going to place my attention and my efforts. And one place that I am confident that I can make a difference is with that organization. So we are really, really proud and honored to announce that ChefEatz is going to be sponsoring 2 classes for that org. And we're also going to be sponsoring the 2 Gainesville rounds. So, one thing that we saw is that, like, everybody, when the schedule got released, everybody was super stoked about Gainesville. I've never been there, but I'm definitely looking forward to it. But one of the things they said is like, there's not much food options. It's just kind of in the middle of nowhere. And that just made me go, you know what? This is somewhere that I could actually make a difference. And when you have somebody at the forefront of that, someone like Michael, who has this incredible level of integrity and passion for the sport, a true passion, who, he doesn't make money off that stuff. The time and energy he puts into these kids and the program is just incredible. And the riders that put themselves into these programs to teach the kids are top level riders, and they're coming in doing it because they want to help too. So it was an easy decision for us that, like at first beginning of this year, I was like, I don't want to go do any events at all. I was feeling a little bitter but then I saw that opportunity and Michael was, arms wide open. Hey, if you're here to help, we want you here. So, huge thank you for the opportunity to be a part of that organization and what they're doing, because it's just incredible. But like Michael said, there's not much of that, which is why it's so important that Michael is doing that, and taking the time to build this feeder system. And if you look at all the fast kids in the last couple of years that are going into Moto America, you read their resume and you go, makes sense. We know where they're coming from. So super, super proud to be able to sponsor a couple classes and a couple events and be part of, what they're doing, because it truly is impressive and awesome. So
100%. To me, I say it all the time. It's the best program we have in the United States is SFL Mini GP for sure. So it's what they do, and that's why I wanted to promote them on every podcast. SFL Mini GP. That's why I run them on my shirts and my leathers and all that, because without them, I mean, where's everybody coming from, right? You have a fast track day guy or girl that'll eventually make it, but again, with the cost of everything, it makes it more difficult, right?
I mean, and to be 100% honest, like my son I showed you his dirt bike. He's starting to get used to riding, and we're going to get him on the pavement. And but I'm looking forward to doing the program because countless adults I've spoken to are like, it's almost, I mean, it's they compare it to like going to champ school. It's like, if you got to do this first, and then you go to champ school. And these are these two programs that are going to make you faster, safer, more fundamentally strong. So, I'm excited to get into that program. Can
I put a pin on that for a minute? I'm watching. So your chat box is a wasteland, by the way. I've been watching this thing the whole time, and I really like it. So Sergey, I don't know if everybody here knows Sergey, but he's a piece of shit, and he's saying that there's more fast kids in New Jersey than there are in Florida right now. There could be. There are some organizations up here. It's like the NJMP, that's one. There's a DMV one as well. I don't think they're marketing quite as big as South Florida or the Florida group is, right? But so I don't know, Sergey. I mean, can you we know you're not fast, so they got a horrible spokesman right now, and no one likes SP 650s. No one likes guys that wear yellow suits. Sorry.
Even cowards are
like that wear yellow suits. Sorry to interrupt you.
No, you're good, bro. I think I seen him. Is he the one that has that banana suit, the Chiquita banana or whatever it is?
Yeah, that's him. Sergey's a really good guy. It's funny too because he's the nicest guy to help you out. He shows up to the track in a yellow like big GMC van or something. Like everything about him is yellow. It's real weird. I think he goes smuggled in. He's kind of like Russian, kind of not. Like
I love it.
The guy is awesome, but now he talks a lot of shit for sure.
That's all right. It's listen, it's Jersey Mini GP, South Florida Mini GP, right? They all have the same goal. And you're right, Sergi, dude, there's a lot of fast out of you said it, Caleb, Oz, Posh, Ben Glotty, freaking dude, Gus Rodeo. I mean, the list goes on. Yandel Medea. I mean, you know, and then South Florida, you got that. It shouldn't, to me, it's not a competition on the Jersey and the South who puts out the best riders, right? It's a cumulative thing.
That's kind of what I was alluding to. The community is a little bit bigger than just, you know, fast riders are coming out of everywhere. Like Sergey's in the chat box just throwing out names that we all know that came out of that organization. So
Absolutely.
like, good point, Sergey. I would just like to see if like they could like net it together somehow and kind of broaden theirs and maybe have like playoffs.
I would
give them like that's just an option for, you know, go to a track in the middle somewhere and then have playoffs. Hash it out, right?
Hash it out, baby. Let's go, right? Dude, VR would be a good VR would be a good track for that, right? Because it's kind of
right in the middle.
Yeah, right in the middle, man. So yeah. Let's try to make that happen, man, for sure.
Yeah,
I think it'll be good.
Yeah.
I know Michael would be
I got a couple dollars. I got a couple dollars for the Super Bowl of kids mini bike racing.
Yeah. I'll throw
Me too. I will too. 110%. Facts, man. Facts. Trevor wants to know when did ChefEatz start making dino nuggets?
Funny guy.
Dude, Trevor's awesome, man. He says Jeff, he says Mini GP was Jeff's nickname in high school.
He's not wrong.
Oh my God. Come pull that back up.
Oh, it's good shit, man.
Hey, dude, Mini GP is going on your shit moving forward. Sorry.
Yeah. Oh, I know it. It's probably no worse than what my nickname already is. I can't remember what it is in your phone, but
that's hilarious.
I can read it to you if you want. I forgot what it is.
Yeah, absolutely. Bring it on up. Let's put it out there.
Oh, right. Oh, Jeff. Oh, I got a lot of numbers on my phone. Let's see here, because I got a couple people with interesting nicknames in here. Jeff Servin is. I don't know if I can show it to you, but I got the picture of him. He took a photo in the back of the ambulance with the necklace on. And it says blowjob factory janitor.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah.
So you can see that in there. It's right above.
I love it, dude. I love it.
Factory janitor.
I remember that picture too, Jeff. When Jeff posted that. Dean Kettleston says we had a mini Moto USA ran by Stony Landers when Brennan was little. Yeah, we did actually at one point for sure. Would love to see something like that back, you know, because that's
Brendan's
it gives
a fast kid too.
Dude, Brennan is
He's a fucking rocket.
He is a proper mega lunatic on two wheels, right? He's super fast, and I can't wait to see him. And he needs to be in Moto America, 110%. He's one of those talents that will, absolutely make it to the top. So big shout out to Dean and Brendan. He actually sent me a shirt that I wear on my podcast sometimes, and that's one thing I love to do too, Michael. Is people, you know, they'll send me shirts, or a rider will give me a shirt, but 9 times out of 10 I give them money for it. Right. Mm-hmm. I'm like, dude, you know, I just want you to have it. Thanks for all the support you do. And I'm like, well, I know how much it costs just to be here in the travel and all that. So here's $50, buy a steak dinner, some dino nuggets from ChefEatz, or whatever it is you want to do. Right. And I thank you for all the love and support. Right. And in turn, what I do is I wear different shirts on the podcast and give everybody, you know, shout outs. I think it's important to keep people's name in the loop all the time, to where people are constantly hearing it. And then hopefully a sponsorship come by and be like, hey, I heard you on Pin the Gas and I want to help you out. So.
Well, I'll send you some stuff. Every year we make something. I don't go crazy with the swag because, you can't serve it. Like I'll bring back Joey Kim. I'll make what I think is the coolest thing, and he'll call me complaining because I don't have it in pink. It's like, fuck, dude. Right? And like what people don't understand about Mr. Joey Kim is he means it. Like he wants to wear pink and like he wants to wear like pastel colors. He's special.
Well, I can't say nothing because I do.
Our special little Yoey.
Yeah, dude. I'm big into the whole pinks. I mean, you see my suits
Oh,
pink.
yeah.
I got pink shoes. it's on my shirt. It's I wanted to be, my whole motto was, when I'm walking around the paddock or something, your eyes are naturally gonna go to the brightest colors you see out there and be like, well, who is that? And what is that? What is Pendergast? What is ChefEatz? What is this? Oh, I heard of that, and then it gives me an opportunity to start talking about all my friends in the industry and what they provide and why you should get on board with them. And my original thought was, I love the 90s. Bring back the fucking 90s colors and super bikes, sports bikes, right? Bring back the pinks and the blues and the purples and the teals and all that. Everything now is just
like late 80s, early 90s, like F1 like stuff. Right. I agree with you. Like there was a heyday, like when the 787B was out, like in the late 80s when it won Le Mans, right? I don't know. I'm kind of nerding out on you guys here. But like there was a day and time where like cars were just phenomenally like done. The liveries were amazing. The suits were flamboyant as shit. The models that were carrying the umbrellas that weighed like 75 pounds all like had like the same do up on, and like I remember you guys remember that. We don't have that shit anymore.
No, we don't. Absolutely. And we have another proper mega friend up in the chat right now. Tate, dude, from 64 Degree Racing, bro. What is
I should have brought him up earlier. Shit, my bad, Tate. One of the new things we're doing this year is working with 64 Degree Racing exclusively on all of our undersuits.
Yes.
So a huge big part of our approach to historical accuracy in our designs is the suits will come with an undersuit if you choose to. That will accentuate the design and continue it further into a one-piece ensemble.
Mm-hmm.
We're about to see some stuff here.
Yeah. Nice.
This is actually my custom 64 Degree Racing undersuit from Tate.
Nice. Hell yeah.
That, he sent me, and I love it, and I tell everybody about it all the time. It's you can never have too many undersuits, right? And I got one piece, I got two pieces and all that, but dude, this by far is my favorite undersuit. Not because it's Pendergast or any of that, man. It's the fit, the feel, the comfort. It's absolutely amazing. So
Hypernaked branded one as well.
I love it, dude. Look at that.
Yep,
that is
this
badass.
is the best quality ever, but we don't do things like normal people do.
I love it.
So Tate just brought to life, and he believes in us too. If it's awesome and it's rad, he'll make it. I love the guy. He's a sweetheart. Talking to him too, like he's one of us. He gets it. He just wants to be a cool guy in the group, like the rest of us. But yeah, he let me bring him the Waifu undersuit. So shout out to that guy.
Absolutely, yeah, dude. Speaking of Tate, dude, I need to get me your newest version of undersuit. So hit me up and we'll chat it up for sure. I love to.
I believe this is it, and it is fucking phenomenal.
This one that he sent me is the XC1.
I think I'm XC. I don't know.
So
we would have to ask him.
Yeah. I love it, man. And it's funny because I tell people, dude, if you're gonna go to a track day, you're gonna go to a club race event for the weekend. You can't bring one undersuit. Trust me, nobody around you is gonna appreciate you. You got to bring at least. Listen, if you're gonna bring any more things, bring more undersuits than you think you need. Right? Bring 5. Trust me, you're gonna need it. There's times you're gonna come in from a session and you're gonna be so drenched, and you're gonna start chafing and stinking and all that good stuff. People are gonna be like, bro. You got to go change. So yeah, we all do that. So you can't have enough. I'm a huge advocate. Again, I don't. With Tate and everybody else, I don't. I love to support all my friends in the industry, right? 110%. And like I tell people, the question I get asked, Mike and Jeff, they'll hit me up. They're like, well, you talk about 64 Degree Racing, you talk about Venom undersuits, you talk about this, you talk about that, but you're a Bison ambassador. 100% facts, but they're my friends in the industry. Okay, you're not going to go wrong with any of the choices, whether it's Bison, Hyper Naked, 64 Degree Racing, Venom undersuits, Bison undersuits. You're not going to go wrong, but between any of them. And like we had stressed and talked about earlier, everybody brings their own unique dynamic in their personality. It's just what fits you the best, right?
Yeah.
So,
See, you said it right. 100%.
Yep. You're not going to go wrong with none of them. So you want to get a bison suit, bisontribe.com. Hyper Naked, reach out to Jeff and Michael. You want 64-degree racing, go to 64degreeracing.com. I mean, Venom, go to Venom. I mean, it's simple as that. By you doing that, you're helping our industry grow. You're showing love to everybody in the industry, which is very important, because now that materials cost a lot more. Right, shipping's fucking ridiculous, especially with Trump doing this whole China thing. Right, this is a whole nother topic, but it's like it's prices are going to go up, and it's just going to be. My point: support everybody in the industry, support all your friends in the industry,
Support your friends,
dude. 110%. You're never going to go wrong, right? And the love will reciprocate back to you. I'm 100% proof of that. 100%.
Let me leave you guys with this. I got to jump off here. I can hear Mom in the background ready for me to feed me. Chris, I cheat shit out of you for everything you're doing. Thanks for having me on. Jeff, thanks for holding us down as always.
Dude, Mike, hit me up. Let's me and you schedule just a one-on-one podcast.
That's fine for sure. And one more time, if you want to just check out what we have, trackdaytailor.com or hypernakedbrand.com. But please feel free to reach out to the one of the two of us so we can get you fitted the right way.
There you guys
go. Thank you guys. Talk to you guys later on.
See you, Mike.
See you later, brother.
Yeah, man, dude, bro, we're an hour and 40 minutes into this podcast almost, bro.
Yeah.
And this is what I love. You know, me and you talked about at the beginning. I have no idea what we're talking about.
Yeah,
dude, I don't really have a game plan most of the time. Like if it's somebody new that I have on, a new friend, yeah, of course it's the how did you get into it? But the reoccurring friends that come on here, this is what I love about it. It just naturally flows where it's gonna flow. Let it be what it's gonna be, you know, and it's laughs and shit talking and proper mega really good time, right? So yeah, dude, it's fucking awesome. Jeff, dude, this has been an absolute proper mega time. I cannot wait to sit back down with you. I can't wait to see you in Atlanta, and hopefully we'll have some more time.
Yeah, I'll be there. I think I'm actually going to park my trailer up there and I'll stay with the kids and so I don't have to leave. Last year I was back and forth and it was a lot. So I thought about vending, but I think I'll just park my trailer in the back and people who know where I'm at can come get them some food.
Bro, you know what I mean? You got to let me know where you're at, because you know I'm going to be supportive and I'm going to tell everybody.
Oh, yeah, bro, I got you.
Let's go. But yeah, dude, listen, this has been a whole lot of fun. I'm kind of like, Michael, dude, I'm freaking starving right now. But before we get off here, dude, Jeff, I didn't get a chance last time to one of my favorite things too is on the podcast as people know is I like to get down and dirty and talk about, you know, what Jeff likes personally away from ChefEatz and away from the track. I think it makes people connect to ChefEatz on a personal level instead of the racer in the chef, right? So look, Trevor says, Simcoe, I have a team shirt for you at Road Atlanta. Trevor, I cannot wait to finally meet you, my man. We are going to have a proper mega really good time. And yeah, dude, thank you so much. I got some new shirts coming in too. I hope they're going to be here for Daytona. They'll definitely be here by Atlanta. So I got one for you too, my friend. 110%. I haven't gave you a shirt yet, have I?
No, not yet.
Well, stay tuned because I got one coming.
Yeah, we'll trade in Atlanta.
We will definitely make a trade. But first question I want to ask for you, man, is do you have any pets?
I do. I have one dog. His name's Siri. He's his mom was a Rottweiler. Or no, mom was a pit bull. Dad was a Rottweiler. So he's just built like a brick shit house and the sweetest boy. Yeah, he's my good boy. His name's Siri. He's pitch black, his entire body. And my wife is and I now am some pretty big Harry Potter fans. When we got him, it was that he's seriously black, and then it was Sirius Black, and then it was shortened to Siri. So he's actually named after a Harry Potter character.
I love it, man. You know, I've never watched Harry Potter. I need to.
Man, it's killer, dude. Like, she's always been a huge fan, and I never really was. So I watched it with her, and it's good storylines. It's interesting. It's a fun set of movies. I really like them. So I'm a fan too.
I'm definitely gonna check them out for sure. You know, I'm a big dog person. I got I had my puppy in here earlier, but my girl Charlie, she's always in here with me. She is 13 years old, pure pitch. She's actually getting up there in age, but she has been. I actually adopted her from my wife's side of the family, and I'm a firm believer that, I don't pick dogs. Dogs pick me. It's just like I'm a firm believer that you don't pick motorcycles. Motorcycles pick you, right? Well. Let me make it clear. This is what I mean by that. You have people that they see bikes. It's cool. I want to get on a bike. I get me some girlfriends and all this, right? And then you have a mishap. You fall off the bike. I'm done with it. You may break a bone, blah, blah, blah. It's not who you are, right? When a bike picks you, it becomes you. You become the sport. That's what I mean by that. So it's very Michael Kellum says, I appreciate you guys, bro. We appreciate you and everything you're doing for our sport. And then he also says, Trevor, where's my fucking shirt? Yeah, Trevor, where's Michael's shirt, bro? Yeah, and Jeff, dude, what are you doing, man? Come on, man. It's freaking awesome, dude.
You better bring a box full.
Bro, you better bring a box full. Do you have any tattoos, Jeff?
I got quite a few. A couple on my arms, chest, back. Nothing too nice, to be honest, but I do have them. Yeah.
I got some too. I'm due for some new ink, man. To me, it's a therapy, man. It's the last tattoo I got was my Marco Simicelli one. I got it when my grandma had passed away. I went like 3 days after that. And dude, I literally sat in the chair and fell asleep. A buddy of mine came with me, and you always have a session in between, let's take a 20-minute break or whatever. And he was like, I've never seen somebody just go straight to sleep. Right. It was like this, bro. It's hard to explain. It's like this vibration. And does it hurt? Fucking right. It hurts in certain areas. Right. But it's that whole mental mind state of what you're going through. I'm a firm believer in, man, sometimes, dude, you got to embrace the fucking suck and enjoy the pain.
Yeah.
In order to come out of it a better person or whatever. Yeah. So yeah, man, it's absolutely. So dude, bro, tell us something we do not know about Jeff Servin and ChefEatz.
Oh man. I'm not too sure. People know quite a bit about me. I'm not too shy to share stories or be vocal about things I believe in or whatever. Not too sure. I mean, I went to school for music, so I have a degree in recording arts and music business.
There you go.
And music has always been a big thing in my life. That was always like my hobbies growing up. I played alto saxophone, drums since I was like 7 or 8. Had to sell my last drum set because my hands tend to lock up now. Seems like everything I've loved and been good at is, holding knives, holding drumsticks, holding clip-ons, and I still deal with it now, after about 20 minutes of spirited riding, my fingers start going numb, so I find myself having to down the stretch keep my hand like this so I can extend my fingers and get some blood into them. But yeah, music was a huge part of my life and still is, man. And a lot of people don't know that. I used to do recording and engineering, producing, stuff like that. But I haven't in a very long time. But once I am established, something I've always wanted to do was create a studio for kids that just need something to do. Because it's the saying, idle time is the devil's playground type thing. And, I had my fair share of getting in trouble growing up. And even I had a fair share after growing up.
I still do. What are you talking about? Right.
But just a place for kids to go and express themselves that might not have the means, and I think that would be a really cool thing to do. It's been something that's been on my mind for about the last decade or so. But it's going to be pricey, sound equipment is expensive as well, but, yeah, a lot of people don't know how big music is in my life. So I'd probably say that's a big thing. And then other than that, I just started really riding a couple years ago. I've always loved motorcycles, always wanted to ride one, but this goes back to my drinking and stuff like that. I didn't want to get a bike because I was afraid I was going to kill myself on it. But when I quit drinking, that's when I was like, okay, I'm in a good space now mentally, and now I go out and, when I ride, I want to make it back. I don't, I can't escape when I ride, but I don't ride to escape, if that kind of makes sense.
It does.
So, and that was something that made me a little nervous back in the day, which is why I never really got a bike, but, which is also a reason why probably now that I have the means to do, stuff with motorcycles is why, like, Kellen said, I've got a lot of motorcycles now and I love riding them all, so yeah, I would say probably the one thing a lot of people don't know about me is my life's influence via music.
I love it, Jeff. I love it. And real quick plug, Trevor, this is for you, baby. 4SR, 4th Street Racing. Go to hustlehardracing.com. There you go, baby. Yes. Boom. There it is.
Nice.
Dude, it is, it's everybody grows up with we, as we grow and evolve and we try to find our spot in this crazy world we live in, we go through periods of different things we like that maybe we stick to, some things we just grow out of and dislike. At the beginning I said it's very important. I believe that if people actually had a real passion about something, whatever it is, I don't care if you like to color, draw, or whatever it is, right? I think every human would be happier in this world because of that, so right. And who don't love music, man? Music's fucking awesome. I'm a big music head, so for sure. With that being said, what's your worst habit right now?
My worst habit. Man, this is gonna take some inward so looking inward. My worst habit right now.
Mine's drinking. I'll go on and say it out there. I've already admitted it, right? That's something that I'm working towards to finally just put it down and walk away.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's absolutely 110%.
One thing I can add to that helped me a ton, and then I'll try to figure out my answer. But like when I was stopping drinking, a lot of people don't understand how much sugar is in alcohol, and our bodies tend to become dependent on that too, and a lot of the physical addiction comes from that. So what I did was I started drinking a lot of soda. I just traded out soda, jacked up on fucking sugar, and but I didn't have the alcohol. So your brain and body kind of allows that and is appeased enough to get it through. So I always tell people that was a little trick that I used. If I woke up in the middle of the night and was sweating and didn't feel well, I'd go out to the fridge, slam half a soda, and I'd sleep like a baby. When most people, they slam a soda, they're up for 2 more hours. I would say probably my worst habit right now is I tend to get in my way when it comes to like mental blocks. Maybe giving myself a little bit more grace. I tend to beat myself up quite a bit about things, and I lay a lot of my own value in other people's hands. And that's something that I need to stop doing. And that goes back to, ebbs and flows of how you see yourself, if I felt at one point I was here and I brought myself up to this level and I stayed there, then this feels a little lackluster, where I find new things that I need to work on. Like you said, we're always improving. And that's something that I'm working on. And especially when it comes to my business, is being able to step back and give myself a little grace and acknowledge that, though I've had some pretty big hurdles the last year or so, just powering through. So showing some tenacity. And I think to show tenacity, you have to have a level of grace and pride and, accountability, all those harder things that, with someone with my personality, might have a little bit harder of a time wrapping their head around, especially like, pride and feeling good about things you're doing and outcomes you're seeing. So, learning to fail forward is a big thing. That's changed my headspace in the last, 6 months. It's like, shit happened. It didn't go how I would have liked for it to go. I lost some relationships. It broke my heart. And, but I can't fucking sit in that. And, I could sit all day and figure out things I could have done better. But at the end of the day, if I know in my heart, I did what I could, and it was all with good intentions, then, I need to let myself move past it and, show a little bit more tenacity and just stick with things, power through when my head's not, motivating me, showing a little bit more discipline and allowing myself to accept the things that come from that, the positives of all that hard work, and just truly accept it. So I'd say that's a big mental block that I've been dealing with the last 6 months and progressively getting better. So, I think that has to do a lot with just owning a business, because owning it, we currently own 4 food service businesses, 2 of them fine dining chefs, and ChefEatz are like the 2 bigger ones. But they beat the shit out of you. And sometimes when you do all the right things and you don't get a result, you're like, fuck, I must be doing something wrong, when maybe, it's like that whole thing. You try, if you quit on the 100th time, it might've worked the 101, so that's kind of what I'm at right now with ChefEatz, especially.
Yeah, it's I think us humans naturally want to, when shit don't go our way, or like, this is the best way example. Dude, I had to put my dog down. He's only 6 years old, dude, and I still cry like a baby to this day. Wishing that I could have known more and I seen the what was going on. I had no fucking clue until it was too late, right? It's that me beating my fucking self up mentally all the goddamn time. Thanks, Facebook, for fucking, oh, you remember this? And I'm just, dude, like, I just want to go cry and hide in the bathroom and just sulk, right? But I still got to remind myself that, man, it was an absolute fucking honor to have him in my life for those 6 years. And it made me just be yeah, but we naturally want to go back and say, now that we see the shitstorm of what happened, hey, I wish I'd have known this. I should have seen this. I, again, mentally just beat myself up instead of just again, keep telling myself it's a fucking absolute honor, man, to have him for 6 years, and it's just the best way I can explain it,
Yeah, absolutely. So. Yeah, I think it comes back to, I think with everything that I said, which at the end really wasn't much of an answer. I think if I could give you an answer, it'd just be perspective. Like, that's a struggle. But perspective is everything. So, my shift in perspective over the last, 4 to 6 months has put me in a much better place with a finish line. That while it is, dynamic and continues to move further down the track, it's still visible, and I'm still able to appreciate the journey. And I think perspective is what you really need to adjust to be happy. I mean, there's this this saying by Michael J. Fox, and he has severe Parkinson's, and I couldn't imagine living like that, right? And he was being interviewed, and someone said something along the lines of, you have this ailment, and you're always so positive. Like, how do you do that? And he said, with gratitude, optimism is sustainable. And I've always said, that really blew my mind. But, again, it just comes back to perspective. Like you said, that's heartbreaking. I'm really sorry that happened. But the fact that you can look at it and say, I could do all these things and nothing's good's going to come from it. But I can look at it and say what an absolute honor it was to have, this companion and all the good memories that I had. And that's important, man. And it's perspective. So, I think that's something that I'm definitely working on and going to continue to work on. And, I don't think it's a bad thing for anyone to work on.
No, and to talk about it and to admit it's, the first step to that self-improvement. It's all, I think that's one of the hardest steps to take, is that first initial, I got a fucking problem. You might look at yourself in the mirror and say it, but it's not the same thing as vocally coming out and telling people.
There's a massive layer of accountability when you put it out into the world.
100%, man.
I thrive on that.
Yeah.
Put an idea out into the world that I know I want to do, because then people saw that I said I want to do it. Now I'm like, and again, that's putting value, in other people's hands, for myself, but it's something that helps me to hold myself accountable, because if I know other people are in a position to hold me accountable as well, I'd much rather do what I say I was going to do and not have to deal with that.
100%, man. 100%. With that being said, man, do you read books or listen to any audiobooks?
I listen to a lot of audiobooks. I can read. I just when it comes, I don't soak in information when I read. It overwhelms me. And that sounds, I guess, stupid, but it's just how over the years I've learned. I'm a very quick learn. And I can get very good and efficient at something incredibly quick. But if it's just on paper, it's going to take me a lot longer to connect all the dots. So I tend to listen to more audiobooks, and most of them are all on, mindset, business, human interaction, just all kinds of things that I think can, make me a better Jeff, a better human, and offer something a little bit more positive, within myself to the world. And I listen to a lot of podcasts, so I listen to Jay's podcast a lot when I'm in the truck and traveling. And I listen to yours a lot when I'm sitting at home, because I really like to see you guys. But yeah, I do listen to quite a few audiobooks. I go on spurts where I'll spend a week and a half and listen to 3 books, and then I'll listen to music for a week, and then I'll go back and get on a podcast kick. And I did my trip out to go pick up those 400s, and I realized, shit, I'm not caught up on the crossover podcast, so I listened to 4 of them, boom, 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 right in a row. And then I listened to another one right again as I was heading back. But yeah, I do love knowledge. I love soaking in as much as I can, especially if it's going to help me and the people around me.
110%. I'm the same way. I listen to a lot of audiobooks, all kinds of audiobooks, and I listen to a shit ton of podcasts. And I find myself, I got to flip-flop them with music and everything else, right? Otherwise, it just kind of gets kind of monotonous and mute, right, so to speak. So, yeah, man. Well, listen, dude, we're almost 2 hours in this. I still got a shit ton of questions, but I'm going to save those for our part 3. Okay. But I do have one last question that I am going to ask you that I love to ask all my friends. If Jeff Servin had his own Moto America team, right? You own the team. Money was not an issue. What is the manufacturer of motorcycle you would have, and who are the 2 current riders you'd put on those bikes?
Sheesh.
Right?
Well, it's funny because it's like I want to say Cowie because I love my Cowies, right? But would they be competitive? Probably not. Money's not an issue. I'd probably go the Joey Kim route and grab Ducatis. Riders, Isaac, 100%. I would definitely want him on there. And then the other rider, that's hard to say. It really is, because there's so many. It would be one of the kids for sure. Whether it would be Avery, Ella, Andrew, any of those kids would probably be the one. So it would probably end up a situation where I'd be like, who's able to, And if money's not a situation, then I'd just buy 4 more bikes.
Right.
So to get everyone riding. But yeah, that would probably be where I'd be at with that. Isaac would definitely be, again, because he's holds a special place in my heart, my family's heart, so he'd definitely be on a bike because I'd want just their grassroots, everything about, just their story, all of it. He is somebody, and his dad too, his dad celebrates the wins and the losses right next to him.
Yep.
So that would be an awesome thing to offer. And again, like I said earlier, me putting my head down and trying to get these businesses really, really going and making money, you can pretty much guarantee that there will be a ChefEatz race team in the next 5 years. I said 5 years 2 years ago. So in my mind, I've got 3 years to figure it out. Another reason why I was like, fuck, when the Kramer thing happened, because, I could have put together a team, this year and next year, but things change all the time. Right. So hopefully that question will be something that's actually a reality in the near future.
It will be, man. It's like, I'm a firm believer is when it's meant to happen, it'll happen. If you force it to happen, you're not as happy at the end result, right? It's like, fuck, dude, I should have just waited because now I'm not excited anymore, any of that. And I get asked that question because I asked that question. People hit me up and listen, I got so many friends in the industry. I want to put all my friends on them. But if we're going to talk solely about a super bike team, I would definitely bring Kawasaki back because we're missing pretty much on the grid. Yeah. And the 2 super bike riders I'd put on it would be SDK and my boy Brandon Posh. Not taking nothing away from Livy Batty, Isaac Wardworth, or any of those.
Yeah.
They're on super bikes, right? So it's not.
I didn't even hear about the super bike thing. I thought it was just a team. Super bike would be a little different, I suppose. But Cowie would be really fucking sick to see. Cowie make a big comeback. I know it is on the bigger stages, but I think there's just so much talent. I mean, Carter Chadwick, he just started riding like a year and a half, 2 years ago, and he's fast as shit. They just moved him to a 450 CF Moto. Mm-hmm. So that's going to be cool. And I'm also pretty excited about having the 400 so I can fuck around with him on that too. We went to a track day over a year ago, and we were both on the 300s that we had for his race package, and that was a fucking blast, so I'm excited to ride with him again. But he would be another one, I'm sure, that I think he's got another year to really polish up, but he's in the time that he's been riding, he's super fast too. So
yeah, I've talked to Carter. I need to get him actually to sit down with me on this podcast. It'd be an absolute honor to have him on. But yeah, listen, Jeff, dude, this has been a proper mega good time, like it always is with you. I can't wait to fucking see you again this year, man. Big old hugs and laughs and smiles and more pictures taken for sure. I'm gonna let you end the podcast, but first I'm gonna give all my shout outs, man. I just want to say thanks to everybody that listens to this podcast. Because of you, I'm able to do what I do. So nothing but love to every single one of you guys and girls. And if you have not yet, please go to my Spotify, iHeart, and all that good stuff. YouTube, hit that bell, that ding, ding, ding. Much appreciated. Big shout out to Next Level Financial, bisontrack.com, right? My man, Jeff serving at ChefEatz, TST Industries, the Clothing Kings. You guys can go to theclothingkings.co.uk and get all your Pendergast merch out there in the UK. Big shout out to my man Eric at Superbike Supply, SFL Mini GP, right? The Mini US SBK program they got now. Big shout out to RD Racing and Jake Marsh. Vet2 Track for all my vets out there. It's an amazing program. Flying Eyes Optics. Big shout out to my man Tate at 64 Degree Racing. Ghetto Customs for all your custom body work. Carnes Performance in Pennsylvania, right? If you're in Pennsylvania, dude, don't go nowhere else. Go to Carnes Performance. KYT Helmet America. K-Tech Suspension. Big shout out to my man Birch, Kendall, and Dakar.
Birch.
Yes, dude.
Man,
amazing
Birch.
people, bro.
What? Birch.
Right? He's awesome, man. They all are. Big shout out to RTR Ready to Race in North Carolina, Coleman Power Sports here in Virginia, McLeo Escapes Track and Tour, Road Racing World. I need everybody to go to roadracingworld.com. Dude, donate to the Road Racing World air fence. It's imperative that we have them at our tracks. If we didn't have those, we're not going racing, people. Even if you donate $5, it all helps. And thank you when you do, right? And I want to get a 2-up ride with Chris Ulrich. So, Chris, you got to put me on the back of that thing. That didn't sound right, did it? But anyway, it is what it is. Put me on the back of that thing, boy. Big shout out to STG, man. Max Van and Brian.
Yes,
man.
Max
Again,
Van, man.
you know, dude, absolutely. Dripping Wet for all your Dripping Wet, and also my man Gus Rodeo makes custom decals too. So, yep, big shout out to both of them. Venom Undersuits. To all my mates out there in the UK, Mike the Spike Edwards, which is a legend, he does a lot of coaching. So if anybody's interested in getting one-on-one coaching with a legend, go to v121pro.com. BTR, which is to me one of the best programs we have in Moto America, is the Build Train Race from Royal Enfield. So big shout out to Scott and all the talented girls in the industry out there. Racer 411 program, tippingracing.com. They have a membership program. You guys should go there. And yeah, last but not least, man, I got to give a big, huge shout out and an honor to have him on today. Michael Kellum from Hyper Naked, man. Anybody, you know, again, I get asked the question and I've already answered it. All these are my friends in the industry. You're not going to go wrong buying from any one of them. They're going to take care of you 100%. You just got to figure out your personality and which one suits you the best. So within saying that, Jeff, it's all you, baby. Tell everybody where they can find you, where they can sign up and all that good stuff.
Yeah. So, you know, ChefEatz.bottle.com is where our menu is. If you'd like to order something, I'll create a discount code right now. It'll just be Simcoe, or actually, you know what? We'll do Pin the Gas. We'll do a Pin the Gas. If anybody wants to order something, I'll get you a discount. Thank you so much for having me, Chris. Once again, you can, if you need a suit or gloves or even some merch, man, give us a holler at Hyper Naked. Either reach out to me or Kellum will get you a design, get you measured up, and make sure you're riding with some really good gear. Fastline Track Days, I'll be coaching with them this year. Come to NCM, have some fun, man. If you want to, if you're just getting into riding, you're trying to shave some time, you're trying to work on fundamentals, NCM's the place to do it, man. And they run a great program. It's tiered out into 4 groups. Great ownership, great vibe. The coaches coach. So jump on Fastline Track Days and see if you can't sign up, and we can link up and spin some laps. N2 and Wera, I'll likely hopefully can connect with them again this year. Last year we did some events with N2 and it was received really well. They run a great program as well. So hopefully when they come down a little closer to us, we can make it back out there. Everyone at N2 has been absolutely fantastic. And then last but not least, I want to give a shout out to my graphics guy, Reese Briotti, my man. This dude, REB Graphics, always kicks ass. I've got new bikes, Reese, so I'm going to be hitting you up. But he does fucking great work. I'm sure I might have forgot somebody, but if I did, apologies, not my intention. Truly appreciate everyone that supports Chef Eats, and just know that, when you buy an order, we celebrate. My phone's not pinging all the time. We go days without getting an order. We have weeks where we send out 2 packages. We have weeks where we send out 15. So, every single order that comes through is just truly appreciated. And the majority of it comes from the moto world. And, we stay true to that. So I haven't announced any sponsorship stuff. But, if you are on the sponsorship program, you're still in it. And, there might be some minor adjustments, but other than that, we want to help. So, we know when you're going to the track, especially if you're racing, it's going to be expensive. So, if we can help with that, we want to. If you're going to be in Road Atlanta, holler at me. Me and Chris will be there. So make sure to say hi. I'll probably be parked out over near the kink in the backstretch. That's usually where we find ourselves landing. But I'll have food. Holler at me. And just going to be having a good time, man. I'll have some speakers out. We can fucking party and, have a really good time, as you'd like to say.
Really
So,
absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes, thank you so much, man. It's always a blast to come on here and speak with you, dude. Love you, man. And thank you, everybody, for coming in. And okay. Here, Becky said, any questions about Fastline, feel free to contact Becky or Chris. Again, two fucking incredible people, both riders. You'll see them out on track during events. They're awesome. It's about all I can wrap it up in. They're just really, really good folks and a ton of fun. They're just a lot of fun. That's what I can say. So especially Becky, she's a riot. Love her to death. And don't get jealous that I said that, Chris. But, thank you again, man. Always a pleasure. Can't wait for the next time, bro.
Yeah, absolutely. I can't wait. It's always an honor to sit down with all my friends. And again, without you guys and girls coming on here, I wouldn't be able to do this. So it's nothing but love to all you. And if you guys miss this, you can go back to my YouTube channel as soon as I end this here in a second and rewatch it. If not, it'll be on Spotify, iHeartRadio, and all that good shit tomorrow. Just keep a watch on Facebook. I'll tag him in it, Instagram, TikTok, hippity doodah, all those places. So yeah, Becky Meyer says she loves you, and Becky, we haven't met yet. I love you too, girl. Absolutely. Thank you. She's for incredible. Being you and special. She is incredible. Yeah, absolutely. So look forward to meeting Becky, hopefully, and Chris in the future at our track. So yeah, listen, Jeff, this has been absolutely amazing. I'm gonna get off here. I'm gonna end this. I got a new outro that a friend of mine made for me. So just listen to it. I'll shoot you a text later and we'll go ahead and schedule our part 3 later on this afternoon, brother, man.
Well, yeah, man. Looking forward to it, brother.
Absolutely. Listen, thank you guys and girls. I hope the rest of your weekend is as proper mega as you, and I love every single one of you guys. And don't forget, pin the gas, baby. Let's go. All right, let me end this.
Calling all two-wheel enthusiasts, get ready to rev up your earbuds with Pin the Gas Podcast, the ultimate motorcycle racing podcast, hosted by Chris Simcoe, one of our very own excellent leaders here in Roanoke, Virginia. With expert analysis, behind-the-scenes stories, and exclusive writer interviews, Pin the Gas Podcast delivers the adrenaline rush of the racetrack straight to your ears. Whether you're a diehard fan or a curious newcomer, you'll gain insights that will transform how you watch and understand motorcycle racing. On your favorite podcast app, join Simcoe as he takes you on a high-speed journey through the world of motorcycle racing. Pin the Gas Podcast.